From Caesar-Wasaka Stadium on the beautiful campus of UC Santa Barbara in Santa Barbara, California, here on the Central Coast, this is Big West Baseball on ESPN+. Game one of this three-game set between the visiting Titans from Cal State Fullerton and the home side, the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. My name's Kevin Cannon, alongside my broadcast partner tonight, Bob Bronsma. Game one of three here at Caesar. Gauchos returning home after a 5-game road trip in which they went 4-1, including a win against top-ranked UCLA. Cal State Fullerton comes into the series having dropped 3 straight. However, they were against Oregon State on the road and USC. Important tilt here this weekend at Caesar, as the Cal State Fullerton Titans are just a game out of first place at 11-7, behind the 3-way tie atop the conference with UCSB, Cal Poly, and UC San Diego. The Gauchos sweeping Cal Poly and winning the series against UC San Diego hold the tiebreak against both of those schools, but a critical matchup here at home this weekend. First of 3, and it's a top-tier pitching matchup. We'll get into that a little bit more as we look at the weekend summary, with the Gauchos on the road at Irvine, winning on Friday, losing on Saturday, and then winning the finale on Sunday, and then in a wild one on Tuesday at Cal Baptist. Gauchos fending off a late rally by the Lancers to win 11-6. UCSB 26-12, 26th in the RPI, well on their way to a postseason berth. Gauchos are on the field. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the starting lineups and the pitching matchup when we return to Caesar-Wasaka Stadium here on ESPN+. Back here at Caesar-Wasaka Stadium for the top of the first inning. Well, let's talk about the pitching matchup. It starts with Jackson Flora on the hill here for the top of the first. We'll see Micaiah Negretti in the bottom of the first inning. But here today, we should have a packed house because it's the top 2 arms in the nation as far as ERA goes.
Well, I couldn't wait to get here. I know that much for sure. And it's going to be on the offenses tonight to see which one can scrap, take advantage of a walk, take advantage of an error, take advantage of a ball thrown to the wrong base, to see who can scrap for that extra run. So we're looking forward to seeing these 2 talented pitchers.
Here's the matchup. Flora, the .71 ERA, that is tops in the nation, 7-0 record with 80 strikeouts. And Negretti, who lowered his ERA after going 9 innings, allowing a single unearned run in his last start on the road against Oregon State. He moved up to 2nd in the nation at 1.33, always also carries 7 wins. The left-hander, the senior, will get the start today for Cal State Fullerton. Should be a thriller here today as far as pitching fanatics go. Jackson Flora against Negretti. Let's look at the starting lineups. First for Cal State Fullerton. Starts at the top, Nick Miller in left field. Then it's Paul Contreras, who's hitting .460 in conference play in right field. Cameron Kim at third, hits third. Then it's Andrew Kirchner at first. Nico Lombardi, the catcher, hits 5th. Eli Lopez is at second base. He will bat 6th. Then it's Max Ortega, the DH. Cade O'Hara, the shortstop, and Cam Burdick in center field will bat 9th for the Titans. And before we get started here, Nate Vargas having some trouble with his pitch communication device, so that is delaying the warm-ups for Jackson Flora. But Gauchos traditionally don't have a great matchup against Cal State Fullerton all time, but under Coach Checkett's 20-20, a 500 record, and Titans right now just a game out of first place, but always fun when Fullerton visits Santa Barbara.
Well, I may not have had the same type of record against them, but I would say it was going down to play at Fullerton was a thrill. I mean, it was, you always had a great crowd, and they were on you. They were on you pretty good. So it was a great environment. You were facing one of the best teams in the country. And the task here that Jason Dietrich has is to try to bring that flavor back to Fullerton. And they're off to, they have a good season going so far, at least in conference play. And this will be an important weekend for them in terms of not only making the Big West tournament, but the potential to go beyond and play in postseason.
Yeah, Titans 11-7 in conference play. They are coming off their bye week. They have played 5 straight non-conference games. They went 2-3 They run-ruled San Diego, and then Negretti beat the Beavers last Friday on the road. But as I mentioned, Titans have lost 3 straight, 2 against Oregon State and 1 on Tuesday against USC by 9-2 score. In fact, they were outscored in their last 3 games 25-5, which is unlike this Titans team, who carries a 3.61 ERA, which is in the top 15 in the country. So lots of pitching here this weekend, and we've seen some tight matchups pitching-wise at this ballpark already this year. Remember, the Portland series was tightly contested on the Hill, as well as that Hawaii series, and expect much more of the same here for Coach Checketts and for Jason Dietrich, who lead their pitching staffs into battle this weekend in conference play. All right, I think we're ready to go here. Nick Miller, Paul Contreras, Cameron Kim at the top of the order here for the Titans in the gray uniforms, pinstripes. Gouches in the Friday home cream uniforms. And away we go. First pitch swinging, a fly ball right field for William Barrett, who waits for it. And he makes the catch for out number 1. That's how our ball game begins.
Yeah, well, a familiar tactic, teams attacking Flora early. They don't want to get in deep. They see a fastball, they're going to jump on it. There hasn't been a lot of success with that technique, but you see the defense here.
Yeah, Bazizo, Kelly, Barrett in the outfield. Esker, Nunez, Vassar, Vasovsky across the infield, and Vargas behind the plate for UC Santa Barbara, the reigning Big West Field Player of the Week.
Yeah, so it's an interesting technique, or tactic, attacking him early, because the only time he's really gotten in trouble was when he's walked a few guys.
Right.
And now, you do want to get on him early, because that's when he's been the most susceptible. Has been in the first, inning. Not really much beyond that. Maybe in the second inning. I don't know if that happened. He kind of struggled with his command for the first couple innings down at Irvine. But teams don't like to take any chances. They're good up there and hacking on him.
Paul Contreras hitting .460 in conference on the year, .339, leads the club with 8 home runs and 22 runs batted in. Down the count here, ball and 2 strikes.
Just about everything, all the categories, as you mentioned, that incredible .460 batting average in conference games.
One-two to Contreras. Sweeper misses away. Yeah, last week against Irvine, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. 1 was unearned for Flora, and walked a season high 6. And he hits Contreras either in the head or the shoulder.
I think I got him in the shoulder.
An early base runner for the Titans. That was changeup. Yeah, right on the left shoulder. Paul turned the correct way.
Well, you take anything you can get. That, once again, you're lucky that was a changeup and not the fastball. A little 10 miles an hour difference on that. But you got to find a way to scratch for 90 feet. And the dose works to start this rally.
Runs could come at a premium today. First pitch, breaking ball for a striker to Cameron Kim. Hitting .281, 18 doubles.
Yeah, 11 of them in conference play. He's been in double machines. He's a 5-tool guy, according from the reports.
It's a soft liner, left center. That's going to be a base hit. Contreras will stop at second. Throw comes back in behind him. And it's 2 on.
Yeah, he got an off-speed pitch up in the zone. He got off the end of the bat. The elevation right there allows that ball to get over Nunez's head.
Sweeper just kind of hung out over the plate there for Cameron Kim. So here's Kirchner. Kirchner had a whale of a season last year. Numbers are down significantly this year. He chases this one up in the zone.
Yeah, he was on the preseason All Big West team, and it's not. The Gauchos understand this scenario where the guys who you maybe thought were going to carry you into big seasons, You know, Mendez, who also got hurt, but Vargas got off to a slow start. Esker as well.
This is cued towards third. It's going to trickle foul.
I think that Fullerton has their trio of guys who have played well, but not necessarily what the expectations were based on what they did the season before.
Last year, Kirchner, 16 doubles, 12 home runs, 70 runs batted in.
Yeah, that's the most RBI by Titan since 2010. Yeah, this is a prospect. E1 Baseball has him ranked the 31st prospect in the draft for this year.
Nothing in two. Right there, strike three called, 97 from Flora, and that is out number 2. First strikeout for the right-hander as he freezes Kirchner with a good fastball. So Flora in his 10 outings with runners on base, opponents are hitting .089 with runners on base.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, one of the many things, but that's one of the things that has shot him up the draft boards, right? They're seeing how much he competes and where he is when his back's against the wall. And he just gets better in those situations.
And opposing hitters on the season hitting a .135 and slugging a .177. The check swing, they will appeal to first. And Lombardi goes around. It's 0-2 here. Take a look. Yep. Hit by pitch and a single. The strikeout to Kirchner. 0-2 to Nico Lombardi. Just off the plate away.
It's a trait that I remember that Jared Weaver had when he was at Long Beach. He would like toy with you the first couple times through the lineup, and then all of a sudden someone hit one ball hard on him, and then all of a sudden he'd break out a couple other pitches, runner goes.
Swing and a miss by Lombardi, and Flora strikes out a pair after he allows the single to Cameron Kim. The Titans strand a couple here in the first as Lombardi can't lay off the sweeper. Gauchos coming to bat here against Micaiah Negretti as we go to the bottom of the first. Just coming to bat here against Micaiah Negretti and Cal State Fullerton. After Flora strands a pair in the first, Kevin Cannon, Bob Bronsema. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Coach Checketts and his Gauchos. 15th season for Chex. Colin Baziza will lead off in left. Corey Nunez will bat second and play short. Will Vassar at second base hits third. Then it's Nate Vargas, reigning Big West Field Player of the Week, in the 4 spot. Jonathan Mendez will DH and hit 5th. Liam Barrett will be in right field, hitting 6th. Rowan Kelly in center hits 7th, and it's Nick Kosovsky at first, hitting 8th, and Xavier Esker at third base will bat 9th for UC Santa Barbara. And here's Micaiah Negretti to make his 11th start of the season, a 7-2 record, second in the nation in ERA at 1.33. A couple of complete games. In fact, 2 of his last 4 starts, he has gone the distance. 67 2/3 innings, 55 hits, 65 strikeouts, 9 walks. Opponents hitting .221 against him. But Bob, primarily just a 2-pitch pitcher, but he will mix in a changeup.
Yeah, mixing a change. Usually that's to the right-handed hitter, but his fastball is 89 to 93. It's a plus slider. And we got a dose right out of the bat.
First pitch to Bazizo, and the Gauchos have a base runner. So Flora hit Contreras in the first, and here Bazizo, looks like on the left elbow, is hit by the pitch. So early base runner for Santa Barbara, coming off of their game on Monday against Cal Baptist, where they scored in 8 of the 9 innings. And won 11-6.
Clearly the best offensive day they've had in quite a while, maybe the whole season. But, you know, their win on Tuesday, going back to that UCLA win, what you saw is the potential that this team has. That was the Gauchos at their best.
Poor Nunez squares and bunts foul.
And then they went and they played well against Irvine, okay? It's tough to go down there and sweep, but they played well. They were a different team, and then the offense exploded for them on Monday. So they're coming in feeling good about themselves, I think, offensively, which hopefully will help a little bit here against Negretti.
Picked to first here to keep Azizo close. Nunez on Monday was 2 for 4 with a triple and a 2-run single. He scored twice. And on the season, hitting .301.
7-game hit streak.
And slugging .458 as he tried to pull it back on the high fastball, but bunted it. Well, tipped it, I should say. And it's 0-2.
You see Negretti's grandfather there in the middle there. I'm not sure that maybe those are his parents on either side, but we do know that that is Micaiah, his grandfather. And what a thrill to watch your grandson not only excel, but just compete, right? This environment.
Out of Oceanside, transferred to Fullerton from USD. Working on a 1-2 count here to Nunez, and he'll throw to first again. Venture to guess that if the score remains the way it is here early, or if it's close throughout the game, we will see a lot of action towards bases with runners on. Pulled foul. That was the slider from Negretti.
Well, he's got a 34.5% whiff percentage on that slider, so you can understand why he throws that a lot.
Mentioned Flora's batting average against with runners on. Negretti's is 180, and his slider here hits Nunez in the foot. And an early opportunity here for Santa Barbara, and Negretti shooting himself in the foot here with a couple of hit batters. The slider there, back foot there for Nunez. Gauchos were hit 5 times on Monday, and they went through a spell where they were not getting hit by a pitch. And I think some of the recent offensive successes, part of that is, well, maybe teams are trying to pitch them inside and they're getting plunked. So here's Vassar squaring. Negretti will pick to second. But we talk about, specifically you, about how everything matters.
Yeah, everything
this
matters.
is a huge spot here early on.
Yep, you need to take advantage of opportunities. Negretti dosing the first 2 hitters gives the Gauchos a great opportunity. Need to execute here now.
Vassar, pretty good bunt there. Negretti to the third base side will throw to first. Man, that one was in the region of, if it got past Negretti, it would have been all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, so, and also that, you know, that gave Kim, that ball had velocity of a 3-3-3 call, right? A lead out because that ball was hit.
Yeah.
But I think Kim was thinking, well, shoot, that could get by him. If it gets by him, we've got trouble. But left-hander falling off the hill a little bit made that a lot easier play for him. And Negretti was thinking, hey, I got to play at third. But Kim kind of made a play for the ball, and that lost that opportunity there.
There's Vargas, second and third. Swings and fouls it back. For Vassar, 5th sacrifice bunt of the year. That leads the team.
Well, this is where, you know, the left-left situation here. Negretti has to take advantage of that and try to get that whiff rate on that slider right there. You've got to throw some good pitches here. This is where, you know, scouts tend to look at how, you know, you see in the big leagues all the time where the guys gut up and they get the pop up, they get strikeout when they need to. This is one of those situations. Negretti looking for strikeout pop up.
Varg offered at it, but didn't go.
Good job by Lombardi keeping that front. Important thing. This goes by the wayside here if you're just watching. But that's a run, potentially more.
Nate hitting .280 with runners in scoring position. Just needs a ground ball here. Something in play. 1-2. And it's a fly ball lifted into left center field. Moving over is Burdick. He's going to make the catch, tagging from third, and coming home to score is Bazzizo. And Santa Barbara has a run here in the first against Negretti.
And that's a good job by Vargas. He got pitched just a little bit up. And didn't try to do too much, as they say. Gets the ball in the outfield, gets the Gauchos on the board early.
Santa Barbara picking up where they left off on Monday. Here's the defense behind Negretti for the Titans. Miller, Burdick, Contreras in the outfield. Kim, O'Hara, Lopez, Kirchner on the infield with Lombardi behind the plate. So Santa Barbara has scored now in 9 of their last 10 innings that they have come up to bat, going back to Monday. Jonathan Mendez will bat here with Nunez at second. Takes Breakham for a strike. And Negretti, it's his first earned run that he's allowed since March 20th, over a month ago.
Well, he's kicking himself, right, with 2 hit by pitches.
Hard on the ground is short, scooped up by O'Hara, and he throws out Mendez for out number 3. In the end, a good one for Negretti and a good one for the Gauchos. A couple of sacrifice hits for Santa Barbara, and they lead it 1-0 as we move to the second. Second inning, 1-0 Santa Barbara. Gauchos push a run across without registering a hit in the first. After Jackson Flora pitched out of a first and second 1-out situation, he will face Lopez, Ortega, and O'Hara. Jackson now ranked 4th overall on the draft board by perfect game. First year player draft coming up this July. And Jackson's been featured really since the end of last season on many of the draft boards in the first rounds. And he has been up to the billing this year. He's allowed just 1 earned run in his last 6 starts. He had the 38-plus innings scoreless streak without allowing a run. That was snapped against UC San Diego last week. If you go unearned, or if you go earned runs, it was snapped last weekend against Irvine. .71 ERA. Jackson has allowed just 5 earned runs on the season here in start number 11. As he faces Lopez, who lifts a fly ball in shallow right. Barrett now waiting for it, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, I bring up, Jared Weaver because I think Flora has better stuff than Weaver, but pitchability-wise, Weaver he was just a phenomenal pitcher, locate, command with so many pitches, and I think Flora will get better at that. But they remind me of that, how dominant they are, and I think Flora, the sky is the ceiling, or the sky is the limit. Excuse me, with what he's going to be able to do. I think he's got a great career ahead of him. I mean, that's maybe Captain Obvious.
That could be your new thing. Sky is the ceiling.
Sky is the ceiling.
Because it's the same idea. I get it.
Works,
yeah. 1-1 here to Max Ortega. Numbers on Ortega this year. He's hitting .207. Starting in his 32nd game this year. He's off that one. And it's 2-1.
I remember Max's dad, Randy, a great catcher up at Santa Clara, from the Stockton area, I think with Lincoln High School. I think we may have dialogued with him, maybe not, but he was an outstanding catcher in high school and a great career at Santa Clara. My memory serves me right. Passed down the genes to his son.
Flows 2-2. Slider is just off the plate. He wanted an appeal to first. Matt Ortega didn't go. So it's 3-2.
Ortega had 2 home runs versus the Gauchos last year in that series.
Another fastball here, popped up. Behind first, Hosovsky wants it, and he's got it for out number 2. Well, in the series last year, Titans took 2 out of 3 from the Gauchos at Goodwin Field. One of them ended in a walk-off. And it was Max Ortega who hit it. That was in the Friday game. Off of Cole Triba. Swing and a miss here by Kate O'Hara. O'Hara out of Tustin. Hitting 250. Double, triple, and a homer. 5 RBIs. Takes a strike. Nothing in 2.
I was talking with Coach Dietrich yesterday, and he was talking about how well defensively that O'Hara has played. You know, they've had a slew of injuries, and they've had their infielders playing all over the place, different positions. But O'Hara's coming in and did a great job for them. And they lost the kid that transferred from Long Beach State, Persinio. He's like the Brooks Wallace watch guy. He got hurt right out of the chute. And that's put them behind the 8 ball. Kim's played some short.
Swing and a miss here by O'Hara on the breaking ball. And Flora has a 1-2-3 shutdown second inning. Picks up his 3rd strikeout as he uses the big sweeper to get O'Hara. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Gauchos leading by 1. Today here at the ballpark, first of 3 between the Titans and the Gauchos here in Big West Conference play. Micaiah Negrete back out for his 2nd inning of work, coming off of a complete game against Oregon State on the road. He pitched a complete game shutout back on March 27th against Hawaii. 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 11 strikeouts through 111 pitches. So 4 straight starts, 7 or more innings. He's done that 5 times overall this season. He's a 2-time Big West Pitcher of the Week already this year, along with Flora. First pitch here to Barrett is upstairs.
They have similar numbers, right? They're on the Player of the Year, Pitcher of the Year watch a couple times. Players of the Week, or Pitchers of the Week, as you said. But Negrete is an example of what you hope for. Good slider there. As far as the improvement from one year to the next, right? Because he was an honorable mention player last year. Good year, 5-3. But, 5.58 ERA, 80 strikeouts, 33 walks, 294 batting average. And he has certainly taken that step forward that you like to see just inside, right? Numbers incredibly better, 7-2 already with 2 complete games.
Yeah, 40.
He got a shutout, obviously, as you said.
41st career start in a Titan uniform.
Yeah, only 9 walks coming into this, so.
Paints the corner, 2-2. To Liam Barrett hitting .319, 3 doubles, a couple of homers, 6 RBIs. He homered on Monday in Riverside against CBU.
He has 9 walks, and now he has 8 hit by pitches on the season.
Barrett rifles one into the right field corner. Extra bases for Barrett. Contreras has a little trouble with it, but Liam content with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 2nd. First hit for the Gauchos.
And I'm going to say the emergence of Barrett and Bezizo and Vassar's development, those guys have really held down the fort. But Bezizo and Liam Barrett have really helped the Gauchos in their lineup and how Coach Checketts can set up his lineup. And he was able to move Rowan Kelly around to be more productive. It's really been a good thing for the Gauchos from both those guys. And if you throw Vassar in there as well, he has come up with some big hits.
The Gauchos, they do hit lefties well. Barrett, his average will go up against lefties. He came in hitting .417. Vassar hitting .474. Bezizo hitting .438 against left-handers. So you got those 3 guys in there. And here Rowan Kelly, not dropped down in the order for lack of performance, but just to put his production somewhere else in the lineup.
Yeah, because he has guys who are getting on in front of him.
Right.
Before he had to do it all. Now he's getting some help in the lineup. It's just an incredibly flexible thing for a coach, and it leads to success. That's the call there on the corner.
0-1 to Rowan Kelly. Hitting .329, 11 doubles, couple of homers, 26 driven in. His 11 doubles, 26 RBIs lead the club.
Right, and you also have Vargas, who's coming back to basically kind of what he was last year. You know, obviously the numbers are going to be hard to match because he started so slow and was in that funk for a while. But he is kind of back to what he was, so he is a major production. You're getting more offense from Nunez. Any offense from Nunez is a huge plus with as good a defensive player as he is.
This one is skied to center, drifting back. Burdick still going back, still going back. He's on the track and he makes the catch. Barrett will tag and go to third. That one carried way out there.
That kept going. That went a lot farther than I was anticipating.
101 off the bat here for Kelly. Squared it up. It was really windy here on Tuesday. And it's just the standard afternoon breeze here today.
Yeah, we had the rain, kind of a shower out of nowhere. And it almost is always followed up by a pretty good wind, as the Titans will bring their infield in on Husofsky. Understanding that even in the second inning, this is a big run.
Chopped slowly to third. Barrett will go to the bag, and the throw to first from Kim is in time.
That was an interesting play right there.
Yes, it was. Everybody's kind of looking around like,
yeah,
what's going on? Do they think that Barrett got in the way of Kim?
That's what it looked like from here. He got out of the way, but so that angle straightens out a little bit.
And again, the bag is on the inside part of the baseline. Like, where is Liam supposed to run? The foul ground? Right there?
The base runner needs to allow the fielder to field the ball.
Which he did?
He did. Yeah, it didn't look like we don't have a great angle on that play. So from our angle, it looked more than what it was after I saw it on replay. So I think that was.
I'm sure Jason's saying the same thing.
There was some congestion, but no harm, no foul, in my opinion.
So that's Gary Gilman, third base umpire. Rob McKinley, Jeff Clough, Javier Navarro, umpiring crew this weekend. As umpires will counsel on this.
So
there's no contact.
Yeah, it's 2 for flinching on Kim, which I can understand. That's what you kind of saw. You saw the flinch, what made it look like from our angle that maybe they made contact, but they didn't make contact.
Obviously here Fullerton lobbying for a double play, base runner interference, or in this case, would it be they just get the lead runner, even though Husofsky was thrown out?
I think it's a good question, but I think it would be a double play. I think the runner at third would be out and the runner at first would be out because the runner at first is out.
Right.
Or the batter runner, I should say, not
Correct.
The runner at first.
The batter runner. Gives us a chance to mention one final in the conference already. UC Riverside 11-5 over Bakersfield early this afternoon. That puts Riverside at 9-10 in the conference, just a game shy of 500. They are not in last place. The Highlanders, who will be here at Caesar for the final weekend of the regular season. Play's going to stand as it was called on the field. And Esker will bat here with the runner at third and 2 down. Very high here, 1-0. Esker on Monday was 2 for 4, run scoring double and an RBI single, coming off of his 4 RBI performance last Sunday against Irvine, where he was about a foot short of a grand slam. So 6 RBIs in his last 2 games.
Yeah, and he's another guy who's just taking better swings, right? So the guy that, if you looked at this before the year started, you're thinking, hey, we got Mendez, we got Vargas, we got Esker. These guys are going to really take that next step, and we're going to be very good on offense.
Hits this one the other way. Going back, Contreras still going back at the fence. He leaps, and this one's out of here. Opposite field, 2-run shot for Esker, his second of the year, and it's 3-0 Santa Barbara.
Well, there's one of the reasons why he's swinging better. He's not just trying to pull the ball. That pitch was a good pitch on the outer half, a little up, obviously, but he stays on it, and he hits that ball hard the other way. 93 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, caught it deep.
Yeah, 353.
It just squeaks over the fence. Good effort from Contreras.
That's the direction that the ball carries in this yard. But another good sign if you're a Gaucho fan about the offense coming alive.
So that gives Esker 8 runs batted in his last 3 games as he goes deep. And Santa Barbara with 3 early runs here against Micaiah Negretti, who will have 3 against Irvine and 3 against CSUN. Even the count here 1-1 to Bazizo. But first earned runs that he has allowed in over a month. As he surrenders the homer to Esker. Foul tip here, and it's 1-2. Well, it's good seeing X leave the yard to the opposite way.
Yeah, there's a lot of hits that way when you take that part of the field.
Swing and a miss by Bazizo, and
go down on.
He's been
hurting a little bit.
Dealing with
an ankle there, but he's holding his arm.
I wonder if arm or oblique, but he's clearly shaken up here. Let's take another look at the swing by Esker. Opposite field shot just over Contreras, and UCSB leads it 3-0 going to the third. Swing by Bazizo that has knocked him out of the game. Holding his right side,
not his arm.
That's where he's been dealing with an issue the last couple of weeks, so that's tough to see.
Yeah, that didn't look good. That's not, for a guy, like I said, who's been a difference maker.
It's like an oblique or abdominal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times that you don't see a guy grimace like that unless, not playing doctor, but that's
well, and this is a rotational game. You need to be able to rotate, so that's tough for Colin. And Noah Carliner is in the game. He's in right field. Barrett moves to left. They're in the top of the third. Kim Burdick, even in the count here, a ball and a strike. Hitting a .194. 3 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 8 driven in.
Yeah, all sorts of tools right here with this guy. Remember him as a freshman when they came up here. Look out. Sweeper right there.
And I'll state here, that's now 10 of the last 11 innings played where the Gauchos have scored a run. 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Well, like I said,
2-2 now.
You watch that UCLA game, and I'll keep harking back to that, but there are turning points in the season. And I know Coach Check is downplay. Well, it's a Tuesday game.
Another nasty breaking ball. The sweeper there from Flora strikes out Burdick. His 4th. The Antlers 1 away here in the third.
But that's a game the Gauchos went to and played with a different attitude. They went there, and this is a stupid statement. It's going to sound like a stupid, but they went there thinking, that we're going to win. As opposed to, like, I hope we play well, But they went in there. They had some attitude. They got a great pitch performance, obviously, and it starts on the mound. But they did everything well in that game, right? They make a great play in left. Bazizo makes a great play in left. That's been much ballyhooed play. But they did all the little things that you need to do to be successful, and that's how you win big games. And I think the team just felt it. I think they just felt that is us. and they've carried it on. They look like a different team.
2-1 here to Miller. My takeaway from what you just said was that you have to have a ballyhoo in order to win a big game like that.
I'm sure there's a story behind ballyhoo.
Well, you said it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, much ballyhoo play? Yeah. I guess I did say that. Yeah. Anyway, Nick Miller, local kid, Ventura, went to St. Bonaventure down there in Ventura.
Lines one left field, a base hit.
I would assume he's got some fans here today. Happy to see his success. Jason called him the unsung hero, the guy just came out of nowhere basically, and has had little playing time last year, and he's just played everywhere on the field. He says he's just a stud of a kid, and that's quite a compliment.
That's the slider, top of the zone, a strike to Paul Contreras. Miller transfer from Yavapai. There's Carliner in right. 0-1 is the sweeper, low and away. Contreras hit by a pitch in the first and was stranded at second.
Titans looking to respond. Top of the lineup, got their best hitter up here.
So Barrett now on left. 2-1. A nice cut there from Contreras, sitting on breakable.
Yeah, it was up in the zone. He had a good swing at it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Nice crowd on hand on this Friday early evening in Santa Barbara. Hey, if you want to come to the game Tuesday, you got to know somebody. It's sold out.
Yeah, sell out on Tuesday. Thanks for coming. Appreciate the interest. It's a good job right there by Contreras. Big difference in his game this year from last year, where the strikeout, the swing and miss was a little bit more prevalent. The rumor is he went out in the North Woods League and had a great summer and worked on some things, and he has really cut down the strikeout. More walks this year than strikeouts. And obviously the offensive numbers have really blossomed.
Full count now. Flora misses with that fastball low and away. Check that, it's 2-2. 2-2 here.
Yeah, the base runners wanted to make sure it's 2-2. Yeah. Connor Spencer over there at first base.
That was low and away again with the fastball. So last weekend against Irvine, with the 6 walks, that is where Flora missed with the majority of his fastball deliveries, was low and away.
Kind of yanking his pitches.
Correct. And missing with a couple here to Contreras. 3-2. Runner goes, and it's popped up on the infield. Nunez waiting for it. And he's got it for out number 2.
Yeah, he threw him a good sweeper there. And Contreras in protect mode. Let's take a look at it right here. Kind of a front door. Maybe kind of got away with that one.
Contreras maybe looking fastball.
Yeah. He might have been looking away, and the guy was coming in on him, and a big out.
2 down for Cameron Kim. Kim transferred in from UCLA. There's Harry. Scoping things out. Front door with the sweeper, and that's a strike.
Yeah, they got Kim, and they also got Briseño to come in, so they got 2 really good transfers to come in. That's your shortstop, third baseman. You got Lopez. I mean, you got Kirchner at first. And Max behind the plate, they thought they were loaded up and dialed in, and all of a sudden injuries start happening, and guys get off to slow starts, and it doesn't go necessarily the way you kind of hoped and kind of planned it would go. Things like that happen fast.
1-2 to Kim. Another pop-up. Flora wants this one. He's going to give way to Hosovsky, who comes in to make the catch. And that retires the side. One out single by Nick Miller. He's stranded at first. Another shutdown inning for Flora. Couch leading by 3 going to the last of the third. Stork Tower off in the distance. Centerpiece on campus here at UC Santa Barbara. Coach Dietrich leading the charge for the Titans. Took over for Rick Vanderhook. He's in his 5th season. And has his team a game out of first place here. About halfway through the conference season.
He's a good coach. Fullerton fans, I know the expectations down there are understandably really, really high for what this program has done forever. But it only takes a couple off years to kind of throw you off the thing, and the college game has really, really changed. It's a different ball game, and it's a little bit challenging to sometimes get back on that table, that unbelievable set that program put forth for 31 years or more.
Corn Unions leads off for Santa Barbara here against Micaiah Negretti. Hits the outside corner there. And it's 0-1. Corey was hit by a pitch in the first.
Make that 41 years. I think 41 NCAA bids, I think, for them. So, I mean, I grew up when USC was just winning everything. And then, my college days, it was Fullerton and Stanford became the two teams that were the bellwether, much ballyhooed programs. And they ran that string for quite a while.
1-2 to Nunez. Be followed by Vassar and Vargas. Last of the third. Good fastball inside corner. Strike 3 called. Good pitch there from Negretti. Picks up his second strikeout.
Next up for the Gaucho, second baseman, number 26.
All right, Bob, I just looked up ballyhoo because it's on its way to being the word of the day.
Nice.
A clamorous and vigorous attempt to win customers or advance any cause. Blatant advertising or publicity.
Much ballyhooed play, I said. I believe that's what I called Bezizzo's play. Any article you read about that game now, it talks about that play. It's very much well advertised and celebrated, as it should be as a ballyhooed play. You just keep popping off.
Vassar swings and misses, and it's 1-1. That visit to the dictionary brought to you by
Webster's online services.
Vassar in the air to right.
Ball's really carrying today.
Yeah, Contreras drifting, and he makes the catch. Plenty of room for out number 2.
Looked like a jam shot initially.
Vassar 0 for 1 with the sac bunt back in the first.
Stepping into the box for the Gaucho, catcher number 12, Nate Vargas.
Here's Vargas. Nate sac fly. His first time, checks his swing here and fouls it off. So when we talk about Bob Bronsma as a broadcaster, to use ballyhoo as an example, he was also ballyhooed as a mystery man, and the ballyhoo for once told the truth.
I did tell the truth once. Yeah.
One time? You told the truth once?
No, I'm an honest person.
Sorry, I was there. I missed it.
Yeah, no, I'm an honest person.
0-2. Vargas the other way, hit well. Miller at the track, he looks up and it's out of here. Nate Vargas, opposite field, shot his 5th of the year, and it's 4-0 Santa Barbara.
Well, as a guy who loves offense, you have to love a guy that can, once again, we talked about it with Esker, same thing with Vargas. Vargas got on track when he started hitting líneas the other way, and he gets on top of that one and hit it hard. Just a great swing right there. The ball's carrying today.
Right over the Montecito Bank and Trust sign, no chance for Miller.
377 feet, 103 miles an hour.
It's beautiful.
Line drive.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing, an opposite field hit. It's even more spectacular when it's a homer on a line to the opposite field there for Vargas, his 5th home run of the season.
Well, you're doing everything right as a hitter when you can do that. You know, the reward is the home run. I mean, a lot of guys have to take a line drive base hit, but you get that kind of reward after that. You buy into that in a hurry.
Bonus strike here to Mendez. Bounced out to short his first time. The changeup. Ready, pulled the string. We haven't seen too many of those yet. Another hard hit, ground ball to short. Friendly hop for O'Hara, and he throws out Mendez. Well, Vargas has struggled against lefties this year, hitting just 133. But he picks up his 2nd RBI of the day on the solo homer to left field here off Negretti. Gauchos have scored in every inning today. They lead it by 4 as we go to the 4th. Beautiful day at the ballpark. Looking at Santa Barbara Harbor. And here at Caesar, Jackson Flora, 3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed. He's also hit a batter. Gauchos have hit a couple of home runs already off of Negretti. 4 runs, 3 hits, and no errors for UCSB. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Cal State Fullerton. Game 1 of this 3-game series, 4-game homestand for the Gauchos. So they'll take on top-ranked UCLA for the 2nd time on Tuesday. 3 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock Sunday, 4:30 again on Tuesday. Kirchner, Lombardi, Lopez for the Titans. Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 is Flora. Jackson 51 pitches through 3 innings. 0-2.
Kirchner had some success last year. Flora came in relief and pitched well against the Titans. And I think Barrett started that game through 1, and then he came in and pitched well, but he went 1 for 2 against Flora, I think with a double.
Kirchner stays alive. Last year, Kirchner 70 runs batted in. Looking for something positive offensively here late in the season. Hard to believe, Bob, if you include this week, just 5 weeks left in the regular season. 1-2 backdoor, missed.
We have 1 or 2 weekends left, I think. We have Riverside coming here and UCLA and
to 4 weeks actually. And then the Big West tournament, which will be at Anteater Ballpark. Swinging a foul.
Will the Anteaters be participants? It's not looking very promising for the Eats.
Last year's Big West regular season champions, UC Irvine, currently in 8th place at 8-10. Pop foul by Kirchner. if the tournament started today, the Gauchos would be the 1 seed, Poly the 2, San Diego the 3, and Fullerton would take on CSUN in the play-in game.
And also, the winning the series obviously would give the Gauchos another tiebreaker, so they would be looking pretty good in regards to that. And I think we're just getting the best of the Gauchos right now. I think they're getting hot at the right time.
Nice at bat here for Kirchner. Works the count full. And a foul.
That's got direction of.
Got something.
I hope not.
Here's some of the ooze.
Yeah, that's a direction towards where I was forced to park. 40 years, never been hit.
That you know of.
That I know of, yeah.
Another 3-2. And it's a base hit center field.
That's a great at bat right there. Which again, you get the right guys hot. You know, Kirchner, Ortega, Lopez.
Number 28.
10 pitch AB there for Andrew Kirchner. Wins the battle with a base knock. He's 1 for 2. Leadoff man is on for Fullerton. Using the center of the diamond. Smooth stroke. See the coach's reactions there. That was good. Don't get that very often. First pitch swinging. Lombardi comes up empty. 0-1. Nico Lombardi struck out his first time.
At 321 last year, 15 games. He played for Coach Schifano up at San Francisco State.
Pulls this one foul.
Also played at Ohlone College.
Rest in peace to the SF State Gators.
Yeah.
No more baseball.
It was Tony's squad, and he got out of there just in time. Landed on his feet pretty well. Another good guy, Tony Schifano. Always been a fan of his. Back in his days, he was a player at UC Davis and coached there. He's always kind to my son. I always appreciate that.
1-2 to Lombardi. Checks his swing on the high fastball. He didn't go. Again, I'm getting the feeling that Flora's fastball command today not at peak level. A little similar to last week. Checks on Kirchner, but breaking stuff has been really good today. The sweeper slider combination.
It's the change that has kind of not really shown its reared its
not
head
too many.
here.
Yeah,
not too much. That has been a major pitch for him.
There's the sweeper, and it ties up Lombardi, and that's out number 1. It just buckles Lombardi here. That's wicked.
Next up for the Tigers.
Totally.
Number 1. Eli Lopez.
That's all you got on that? Totally.
Totally wicked. Dash. Incredibles. It takes me back to the Incredibles. When you have kids, you'll.
Hey, I was a kid when The Incredibles came out, and I loved that movie.
Yeah.
Lopez flew out to right. Yep, there's the sweeper. That's been the pitch today.
Yeah, and he's thrown it. He's thrown it at the front hip of the hitters, and it's kind of freezed him a little bit. Especially after he dotted Contreras. Now that was the change. That's one changeup we can remember is the one he dotted Contreras with. But people know about the fastball that goes, 96 to 99, touches 100. Perfect pitch right there. 96 on the black.
Well, he's reached back a couple times with the fastball to get to 98. He's thrown 199. Now we'll look a little more in control. 0-2. Lopez all over that one. Pulls it foul.
Yeah, up in the zone. But you're right, a lot of sweepers and sliders.
We had Kirchner 2 strikes, long battle, and he got ahead of Lombardi 0-2. Had a Lopez 0-2 here. Outside, 1-2. I mean, he's trying to hit that outside corner to the righties. The Titans only have 1 lefty in the order. It's Kirchner, so a lot of right-handers. And here's a liner left center field with the runner going. Kelly's going to cut it off, and it's a base hit for Lopez. First and third for the Titans.
Well, the run and hit right there. Kirchner was on the run. Lopez gets it into the gap right here. Good swing. A little something going for the Titans. First and third, 1 out.
So here's Max Ortega. Titans put 2 runners on with 1 out in the first. That's when Flora has been seemingly at his best this year. Just outside, 1-0.
Ortega had a 5 RBI game on Saturday of last year against the Gauchos.
Ortega popped out to first in the second inning. Level in the count, 1-1. Flora swiping with a little extra body language.
Yeah, he did that with the previous hitter on a couple pitches. It's like he wants to throw more fastballs, it feels like.
Swing and a miss. Slider to Ortega, 89.
Coach says, no, you're throwing the slider.
Kirchner at third, Lopez at first. And a pick to first.
Titans need to, if you're a Titan fan, you're saying we gotta cut the margin here this inning. We can't let the Gauchos come to bat.
A swing and a miss by Ortega. A couple of hard sliders there from Flora as he records out number 2 and his 6th strikeout. This one at 88, just biting off the outside corner. That's a brilliant pitch.
88 mile an hour hard slider in a good location.
I mean, the slider and the sweeper have been really good today. 2 outs now for O'Hara. And the sweeper in there, strike. Well, my experience with some of the better staffs that Coach Checketts has had, guys with 3 or 4 pitches, swing and a miss by O'Hara, it's 0-2. Where if one of them is unreliable, usually the other is excellent. Pitches, that is. Guys like Tate, Bieber, Boone, McGreevy, Nelson. They don't have one. They've got another. And Flora, he's been feeding the Titans a heavy dose of sweepers and sliders today.
Well, if you have a dominant pitch, you have a dominant pitch to go to, which it is. His slider is a dominant pitch, as is the sweeper. So you're not going to bring your A game to every time you visit the mound.
1-2 is inside. Two and 2 to O'Hara. And a pick to third with Esker coming in. could be some shenanigans here.
Well,
Runners at the corners, down 4, top 4. You got a 2-2 count to O'Hara, bottom of the order. Like a right-handed special. Early start from Lopez. 2-2 is swung on and missed by O'Hara. Fist pump from Flora as he strands another pair of runners. For the second time today, the Titans have put 2 on with 1 out, and Flora records back-to-back strikeouts as he gets Cade O'Hara here on the wicked slider. Got Ortega on the slider, and O'Hara, no answers for that one. 4-0 going to the last of the 4th. County Fire Department enjoying the sights.
Yeah, they know the Gauchos are on fire, so they got to be here.
1986.
Yeah, just in case.
Right, that's 1986.
83.
83, beg your pardon. That was close. Gauchos on fire.
So
Usually when they post up there, they go top of the rig to watch. It's 4-0 Gauchos here, last of the 4th inning. Barrett, Kelly, Hasovsky. For Santa Barbara here against Negretti. Has allowed 4 runs on 3 hits. 2 have left the yard. The Esker 2-run shot and the Vargas solo shot, both to the opposite field. Barrett looks at a strike. Liam started the second with a double. His 4th of the year. Yeah, Liam has really come on offensively. Average will go up from 319. Takes high here, 2-1. Other matchups this weekend in conference mentioned Riverside hosting Bakersfield, Davis hosting Long Beach State, Cal Poly hosting CSUN, and a big one in La Jolla, UC San Diego hosting UC Irvine. Strike outside corner, and it's 2-2. Hawaii in non-conference will be in Corvallis. Take on Oregon State.
Oregon State taking on all the Big West schools, which is great.
6 of them.
That's the value of the conference realignments. Obviously with them being independent, but more games with them.
With
and
SC.
with USC and UCLA.
3-2 now. So when you got a 3-way tie at the top with San Diego and Cal Poly, obviously if the Gauchos finish a game behind one of those two, the tiebreakers are moot. So Gaucho fans should be fans of Irvine and CSUN this weekend. 3-2, spoiled foul.
Yeah, and if Irvine has any hopes of breaking into that top 5 position, they're going to need to do some legwork here, starting now.
Well, it's a big series for CSUN because they're 2.5 out of first place. They're hanging around. Eddie Cornejo's Matadors.
They've played better on the road than they have at home, at my recollection.
3-2 is low and away with the slider, leadoff walk.
Good take right there, borderline pitch.
Barrett on base the second time today.
Take a look at it right here, just outside. I tell you, that's one thing I don't like. I don't like not having the TrackMan give me the strike zone so I can sound smarter and not be hard on the umpire. Actually, I'm probably less arm.
For your entire playing and coaching career, you didn't have one, and you did all right.
I was a lot closer.
But you weren't behind, like you're more behind home plate now than you were when you coached.
Yeah, but I never missed a call in the dugout, so I had every right to yell.
Right. Your zone from the dugout, its prowess was much ballyhooed.
Yes. As it should have been.
Kelly flew out to deep center. His first time. Down the count here, 0-1. So Barrett with his double today against left-handed pitching. His OPS is 1383.
OPS on-base percentage and slugging percentage. You combine those two stats to get that OPS number. Anything over 800 is usually
It's
pretty
generally good. Over 9, over 1,000 is great.
Yeah, in college.
Kelly, center field. Burdick drifting on the edge of the track, makes the catch. Barrett's going to tag. Here comes the relay, and it's bang, bang, not in time. Good base running there from William Barrett to move up an extra 90 feet. As Kelly goes to deep center again.
Yeah, that's outstanding base running. That ball's going to be caught. He had to be down all the way, and it's got to report on Burdick as he is a great outfielder, so he's going to catch that ball. And it's a game of getting 90 feet. The Gauchos just took 90 feet where they could, and they did.
One out for Hosovsky. Hit that chopper to third. Checks the swing here on the slider, and he didn't go. Ball one. Big cut and a miss. He might have been looking slider there, got it. Up in the zone. Just didn't hit it.
He has been up on a couple of sliders, and he's been hurt by it. Got away with that one.
1-1. It's a fastball there, fouled straight back. And it's 1-2. Hosovsky still stuck on 4 doubles and 5 homers. It's added to his RBI total in recent days.
Yeah, he did a lot of work early on to help the Gauchos get off to that great start.
Chops this towards short. Charging is O'Hara. Throws out Hosovsky.
That's a nice play right there.
Nick's had a couple of awkward swings on the ground to the left side. He's 0 for 2. And here's Esker.
For the Gauchos, third baseman, number 31, Xavier Esker.
X, 2-run shot in the second. Snuck over the glove of Contreras under the pine and right. Chops that slider, and it's 0-1.
That was a better pitch, better location.
Esker continues to rack up extra base hits. Big cut and a miss. And I'm fine with that. I think both of us are fine with that on a 0-1 slider.
Yeah, that's a good swing. It's good. It's a better pitch.
Oh, 2 in the dirt. Yeah, Esker, since returning to the everyday lineup, 5 doubles, 2 triples, and now 2 home runs.
Yeah, he had to play his way back in, and he did that. And that's a lot harder to do, right? I mean, you know, because he was getting pinch hit for, it seemed like every game. He'd get 2 at bats, and then he'd get pinch hit for, and it's just tough to get a rhythm.
1-2 is pulled, just foul. Yeah, that big game against SC on the road, and then in the finale against Poly, home run and 3 RBIs. And now he's really caught fire these last 3 games. Bases clearing double against Irvine. RBI double, RBI single against Cal Baptist, and the 2-run shot today, so 8 RBIs. His last 3 games. Another 1-2. And half swing, and Esker down on strikes. And that's the first scoreless inning for Negretti tonight. Picks up his 3rd strikeout, works around a leadoff walk, stranding Barrett at second. We've completed 4. It's the Gauchos 4 and the Titans nothing here on ESPN Plus. Sun setting here at Caesar through the trees. 4-0 UC Santa Barbara leading Cal State Fullerton. Kevin Cannon, Bob Bronsma. Yeah, for the Titans here against Flora in the 5th. Burdick, Miller, Contreras, 9-1 and 2.
Number 2, Dan Burdick.
Flora had to work around a couple of singles last inning. Titans out hitting the Gauchos 4-3. But all of them have been singles, scattered, I guess you could say. Gauchos have the big swings. Their 3 hits are a double and 2 homers. On the ground to short. Tricky hop there for Nunez. He throws out Burdick.
Yeah, he caught himself in between. He was looking for a drop step, and he realized, hey, I can't. That's not going to work. He did a good job getting out. Take a look at it here. So, he had to come and get it. Made nice. He's good hands. He's an outstanding shortstop, and he continues to show that.
Did he play them? Did he play himself into a 1.5 play there, or level 2?
A level 2 play. Could be. Yeah, that happens a lot. That first step is really important, and if you make it wrong, it certainly will make a hop more challenging.
Top of the order here, Nick Miller.
That's where good hands can really make up for some things. I mean, he's got good footwork and great hands. And that's a tough play. You know, I think you throw into the fact that he realized Burdick can run, and so he said, I better come get that.
Slowly hit towards third, charging his Esker, gloves. Fishes with it in his glove a little bit, and that might have altered the throw.
I agree. I don't think he had that. I don't think he had that in his hand the way he wanted it. Probably give that a hit, I would think, but we'll see. Could be hometown scoring.
You could say here, maybe just a little bit of traveling right there.
Yeah, just
pulling Hosovsky off the bag, and it is an infield single. So a swinging bunt for Miller. He's two for 3. Flora back in the stretch to face Contreras. Swings away, first pitch in the air, center field for Kelly. 2 down. The Titans have been aggressive on the first pitch a few times tonight. And there, Contreras flies out. Last week, Flora was all over the place the first 4 innings. But it was the 5th and 6th where he really settled in and was at his best against the Anteaters. First pitch swinging a pop-up off the bat of Kim. Who wants it? Kelly clearing everybody out, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So after the infield single by Miller, Contreras and Kim fly out to center on back-to-back pitches. And another 0 on the board for Jackson Flora. Gauchos leading by 4 halfway through our ball game tonight. Beautiful day here in Santa Barbara. Temperatures at game time hovering around 70. Light breezes, and Micaiah Negretti into his 5th inning of work. 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Just 62 pitches.
see the breeze picking up there.
Those are the numbers, the weather report. Top of the order for the Gauchos, first at bat for Carliner. He came in for Bezizo, who injured himself on the swing in which he struck out on in the 2nd inning. So first at bat for Carliner. Big swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Carliner hitting .235. 3 doubles, 5 long balls, 15 runs batted in.
That was one of his few changes there. It was a good pitch.
1 up and away. Carliner recently engaged.
No kidding. Congratulations.
Gauchos have 2 players who are engaged. Him and Hosovsky. 1-1 slider for a strike, 1-2.
Older guys, grad student type. Clearly they got themselves a winner. Good for them, congratulations.
1-2. Carliner down the left field line. It's going to hang up there for Miller. And he makes a nice sliding catch in foul ground. From our angle, sometimes ball off the bat to the left field side for Carliner means, oh, this one's out of here, but that one off the end of the bat. And it kind of floated up there in the wind. It's a nice play by Miller there. Going to ground, make the out.
I think the last ball I saw Carliner hit the other way was the home run he hit at LMU to tie that game in the 9th inning.
First pitch, strike to Nunez. Carliner had a pinch hit single in the 9th inning on Monday. Opposite field base hit, 111 miles an hour off the bat as Nunez bunts it foul. 0-2. That was a big hit. That was after Cal Baptist had scored 6 runs in a row with 2 outs to cut the lead from 8 to 6 going to the 9th. Gauchos got hit by pitch and a walk and sent Carliner up to pinch hit. Came through with the knock, and Nunez swings and misses. Lombardi will throw to first to complete the out. 4th strikeout for Negretti. Haven't talked a ton about that game on Monday, other than the Gauchos scoring in 8 of 9 innings, and if you include the first 3 here tonight, do the math, 11 of 12. So Gauchos scored in 11 of the last 12 innings before being shut down scoreless in the 4th. 2 up, 2 down here for Negretti in the 5th, but Santa Barbara was in full control, leading 8-0. And Janicelli was throwing BBs. And with 2 outs, the Lancers got a solo homer by Ryder Dykstra. And then it was just an onslaught for the next 5 hitters. And it happened very, very quickly. And I had mentioned a couple of times that, at least at that ballpark, Topman Stadium, runs can score in bunches. And they went walk, double, double, single, homer to cut the lead to 2. And they had a ton of momentum. And that base hit by Carliner in the 9th led to a 3-run rally for the Gauchos, and they squashed the Flames that the Lancers had brewing and came away with the win.
Another good road win for the Gauchos, helping that RPI.
3-0 to Vassar is a strike. And Santa Barbara checking in at 25. The ratings percentage index today. And still have the #1 rated non-conference RPI and non-conference strength of schedule. Vassar turns on one to deep left. Miller's gonna watch it fly. William Vassar with his first homer of the season. A bomb to left.
Yeah, he got a fastball in. He just dropped the head on that thing, hit a missile, 421 feet, 105 miles an hour off the bat. He's pretty excited, you think. See it right here? Boom, yeah, down and in, all barrel. Congratulations to William Vassar.
Well, that's got to feel great for Vassar, his first home run of the season. 3rd home run of the game for Santa Barbara.
Just more people contributing up and down the lineup. You got a lot of different guys supplying some offense.
1-0 to Vargas in the dirt. So it's 2-0 here. So on Friday, Corey Nunez, sack bunt, solo homer, and a web jam. Made a leaping catch, caught it at its highest point. Vassar has the sack bunt and the homer so far. So I called that trio a Corey Nunez. Because, I mean, only Corey can be asked to sack, hit a homer, and come through with the web jam.
Yeah, but, I mean,
I needed to call it something.
yeah,
That's just the first thing that came to
call
mind.
it a ballyhooed play or something like that. I mean, if you really wanted to go a little deeper into the dictionary. But you call it what you want. That's fine. Another hit by pitch right there. That got him on the hand. That stings a little bit. Not a lot of give.
Don't rub it. Let's see.
Oh, maybe got him on the
left
wrist,
forearm,
maybe.
wrists.
Yeah, looks like they have the back wrist, forearm area.
That's the glove hand for the catcher Vargas, and that's the third hit by pitch for Negretti tonight, who has allowed 3 homers. All of the hits allowed have been extra base hits, as he's in the middle of a conference on the mound with the rest of his infield. So Vargas, sac fly, homer, hit by pitch. 5-0 Gauchos here in the 5th.
Well, there's a lot of ways to help your team win. And if you're doing 3 of them, that's a pretty good day. And when you try to stretch that to everybody in your lineup, that is a lot of ways, besides getting hits, that you can help win a ball game. So do one of those 8 things that, you know, move a runner up, do something, make a nice play, pick a sign, do something that's going to help your win. And successful teams have guys up and down their lineup that will buy into that philosophy and make you successful.
This is time called by the catcher Lombardi. Tech issue, but gave the thumbs up. Solo homer with 2 outs by Will Vassar. His first of the year. Mendez off the end of the bat. Out to left for Miller. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. But Will Vassar goes deep. Gauchos have scored in 4 of the 5 innings and lead it 5-0 here. Vassar puts a charge into this one. A no-doubter. We'll go to the 6th. Gauchos by 5 here on ESPN Plus.
There.
It's like white fire.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, really?
Very good call. Yeah, good call. I'll let you have that one.
Beat you to it. Jackson Flora on for his 5th inning of work. Strike that. Jackson Flora on for his 6th inning of work to face Kirchner, Lombardi, and Lopez. Here for the Gauchos. Here for the Titans. Should I start this over?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. 85 pitches, so this could be his last inning, you would think. And so I'm sure the Titans can't wait for that.
This one at the ankles of Kirchner, and he jumps over the top of it for ball 1. Kirchner 1 for 2. Single and a strikeout. Titans have had a base runner on in 4 of the 5 innings. The leadoff man on once. Kirchner pulls it. Past the dive of Vassar. That was almost
the Corey Nunez.
The Corey
right there.
Nunez there for Vassar, just out of his reach.
That's a much ballyhooed thing you're looking for is a Corey Nunez.
Now batting, number 28, Nico Lombardi.
Just out of his reach. Good effort there from Vassar in the shift. So a single for Kirchner. He's now 2 for 3, and that's the 6th single of the game for the Titans. As Lombardi looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Lombardi 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. And a slider that's low and outside. And then it's 1-1. All the other games in action now. Oregon State with 3 in the first, lead Hawaii 3-1. Top of the second. Flora misses low and away. And it's 2-1 here to Lombardi. Long Beach at Davis, Irvine at San Diego, Northridge at Poly. All those games in the first inning just underway. Here's the 2-1. That's the sweeper in there, strike. And it's 2-2. Just a bit high and outside, so 3-2.
There's a hardworking fan right there. That is my daughter. Someone, thank you for getting her on camera. You gotta love your daughter who would come up to visit you and then come to a baseball game. Her whole life has been at a baseball game. So she doesn't miss the opportunity maybe to check one out when she can. Okay.
Is it a good or bad thing that she's unaware that she's on camera?
That's probably normal. I would think she's not sitting there thinking, hey, I'm on camera. Okay, well, that's a pretty long shot right there. Thank you for that.
3-2 is up and in. 2 on and nobody out. Here for Fullerton in the top of the 6th. That is the first base on balls issued by Flora. If you look at Janicelli and Olivas in the Gaucho bullpen. Jackson at 94 pitches. Coach Checketts will pay a visit to the mound. Well, Fullerton gets aggressive on the first pitch like they did last inning. And hit into outs. Could keep Flora in this game to finish this inning, but
yeah, but that's.
I would venture to guess if Lopez reaches, could be the end of the line.
Yeah, and I think that is that's the other end of being aggressive early on it is you'd like to get him out of the game as soon as possible. And maybe a better tactic would be take some pitches on him, see if he has his stuff, especially early on in the game. Get the pitch count maybe a little bit higher, maybe get him out in the 5th. And get into a Gaucho bullpen, which is very good. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, you know, you're going to get something much easier. But you'd like to get him out of the game, trust me.
Flora 5+ innings, 6 hits, 1 walk now, 7 strikeouts. Lopez is a high chopper over Esker. This will score Kirchner from second. And stopping at second base is Lombardi, and the Titans are on the board. Well, X was even with the bag, nothing he could do about it. As Titans were aggressive their first pitch, and it pays off.
Yeah, and I would think maybe Triba would be in the pen if. Oh, you saw the pen. It was Janicelli, correct?
I think that one was right off the lip of the grass in front of home plate. So RBI single Lopez, it's 5-1. 2 hits and a walk to start the 6th. Lopez is 2 for 3, and this one misses in tight to Ortega. Was popped out and struck out. Ortega and O'Hara are 0 for 4 combined with 3 strikeouts. Chicken wing there, but takes a strike.
I mean, he's probably lucky that didn't hit him because he's actually talking about it. Because you get that, you know, they could have called that if it hit him, they could have banged him.
Reach for the bunt there. And Ron McKinley rings him up. So it's 1-2.
Yeah, looking to turn it into a bigger inning. Trying to sacrifice, move the runners up.
Let's take a look here. Chicken wing. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
He swings and misses here. And Ortega down on 3 strikes. 3 pitches, I should say. And Flora comes up with the much-needed strikeout. It's his 8th of the game. It's just a great location again. I think he struck Ortega out on that same pitch in the 4th.
Yeah, tough at bat when you throw the bunt on a tough pitch, and just not a bat he's gonna put on his videotape. Do they do videotapes anymore?
It's video.
Okay, video.
Tapes don't exist anymore. This.
I have tapes.
This is invisible tape.
I have tapes.
You can't see this tape. Pitch outside corner, 1-1. What do you think that visit was from Coach Checketts? Is he going out there saying, hey, next 3 guys are 0 for 6 against you?
No.
They haven't hit the breaking ball yet.
No, he's saying, give me everything you got with these last couple hitters.
Fly ball center field. Drifting back.
And
Runners will
throws-
tag.
Throws to second base.
On the play, Lombardi goes to third on the fly out by O'Hara, and there's 2 down.
And so that's what Flora's done. He's done what he's done all year, giving him everything he's got, getting big outs in big situations. He's got to do it one more time here.
I think you could say he maybe caught a tough break on the bouncer by Lopez. Could have been a double play ball.
Exactly right. Well, that's
could have been a reminder like, hey, don't let that deter you here. Your stuff's good. Keep
and that's
going
good
up
for
the
a
zone.
reminder. But for me, Flora's got that confidence that he believes in himself. I don't know how many times you need to go out there and get him to believe in himself and his stuff.
Little pop-up behind second. Vassar will give way to Carliner, who comes in to make the catch, and that retires the side. So after the mound visit, Flora retires Ortega, O'Hara, and Burdick in order. He has got 8 strikeouts tonight. Titans get a run on the Lopez single. Look at the strikeouts here from Flora. Look at the number of breaking balls, sliders and sweepers. As he gets Burdick to pop out, we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Couch is leading 5-1. Stearns Wharf, bottom of State Street, in between East and West Beach in Santa Barbara. For the Gauchos, it'll be Barrett, Kelly, and Osofsky. We're up there, press box, the window to the right. I'm waving at y'all. Keep zooming in. Bottom of the 6th inning, Negretti back out there. I'm Kevin. He's Bob. He's hiding behind the double pane of glass.
Thank you, Destin. Destin Whitaker on the camera out in center field.
This is the right place for you. Behind the 2 panes of glass. If foul ball comes here, I don't want it to hit you. You didn't bring your glove.
Don't need glove. These hands are like steel.
Liam Barrett is 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. Negretti, 79 pitches, 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Starts up Barrett with a breaking ball for a strike. Aha, there he is. They got you.
Billy Holy.
0-1, high pop-up, out in shallow right. Contreras makes the catch for out number 1.
Glad we didn't have a replay need there, and they go to the first base camera and they get a stunning shot of
Coach Bronsma?
old man in the press box.
Two-time Big West Coach of the Year.
For the Gauchos, center fielder, number 3, Rowan Kelly.
Here, now's your chance to do your double
Now
celebration.
you get double celebration. What's that? No, that's Billy Holy on the first base camera. We Jerry Fall on the slash camera down the first base line. Eddie Spantman on the high home. We already said Dustin. Yeah, all right. There he is.
That's Billy.
Yes. We got Vic Newman on the first base dugout. Sean Wasowski on replay. A quiet day for Sean. There's Vic. Matt Key on graphics. And Danny Spantman, who's the producer, director, talent observer. Just can't.
Danny is judge, juror, and executioner. That's what he is.
He just does it all. But seriously, yeah, a great group of cameramen. Another dose.
This time on a 3-0 pitch is Kelly. Whereas this one, that's the 4th hit by pitch of the game for Negretti. See where I got him. The right hip.
Belt buckle.
Belt buckle.
Almost, yeah. Reminds me of one. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but Wes Romer, I believe, was a pitcher. Didn't walk anybody for Fullerton, and when he got 3-0 counts, he just hit you. So he didn't add to his walk.
That's good strategy.
Yeah. Might not have been Wes. Might have been another one of the unbelievable arms that Fullerton used to throw at you back in those days.
Well, I remember Thomas Eshelman.
Yeah, another guy that
Single-digit walk totals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's going to be it for Negretti after 5 1/3. Coach Dietrich out to bring on a left-hander. Brady Dokken is coming on with the Titans trailing by 4. A runner at first and 1 down here, last of the 6th. We'll take a break. Tell you about the new arm when we come back here on ESPN Plus. Takes over for Cal State Fullerton after Negretti goes 5 1/3. Bronze. Dokken takes over here with the runner at first.
Yep. 12th appearance, 2.45 ERA, 1-1 on the year. He has 1 save, 22 innings pitched, 16 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 20 strikeouts and only 2 walks. Opponents hit .211 against him. And Coach Dietrich went out of his way to talk about Brady Dokken, talking about his mindset, how he competes, how he carries himself. Absolutely loves the guy and how he attacks with, not 95 miles an hour. He's going to throw 85 to 88 type thing, but competes. And he says, if you give his mentality to any pitcher, they're going to be much better.
Ball in the dirt, throw down to second with Kelly trying to advance this, not in time.
That's a good job right there. That's a great read. That's a free 90 base right there. Well, it's a stolen 90 base, actually. On a great ball in the dirt, because that ball barely hit the dirt. Lombardi came up with it. Take a look at it right here. It's a great play by Lombardi, but an even better read right there. Those are the kind that you put on a highlight tape and tell you how to do it. If we had a shot of just Kelly himself.
Call it a stolen base.
That's just not a ball that you, I'm okay with that. Cause
yeah, he was going before the ball hit the dirt.
It wasn't really a delay,
yeah.
Right? It just, he saw a downward angle and he took off. It's what you teach and pray. And Lombardi did everything he could do, made a good throw. It was just a better read. Good baseball.
0-1 here to Hosofsky, who's 0 for 2, a couple of bounce outs. Another foul.
It falls into the category that everything matters. And he did everything that mattered on that, and it paid off as a 90-foot gain by the Gauchos.
So Dokken ahead here, 0-2. Dokken his last 2 outings as they pick to second again. Lopez coming in.
Well, teams are more likely to try to steal third off a left-handed pitcher. And the Titans are aware of that.
Umpire flashed 1-2. Yeah, that one is low. So 2-2 here to Hosofsky. But Dawkin, his last 2 outings against UCLA and Oregon State, 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks. He had 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, Rancho Bernardo High School, that used to be a powerhouse baseball program.
This is a bouncing ball through the middle, and it's going to get into center field. Kelly will score from second, and Nick Hosofsky finds a hole on the infield and drives in the 6th run of the game for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, good pitch down the zone, and just a better at bat right here. See the pitch, change up, down and away. He just gets out there and hits it where he ain't. They were in a little bit of a shift, and that paid off for Nick. And the ball in the dirt, Reed, pays off for the Gauchos. That's what I'm talking about. The Gauchos are doing the little things extremely well right now. They're on top of their game. You know, once again, my conversation with Coach Dietrich, he loves his team. He really does. He says the guys are good. They compete. They play good defense. He thinks they're pitching well. But he needs a little bit more from them, and he says it's in them. I know it's in them. We see Esker's opposite field bomb.
Back in the 2nd inning, 2-run shot. Next 1 for 2, struck out in his 2nd AB, and ahead of the count here, 2-0.
You know, how I'm paraphrasing, and I'm not going to quote him, but can't remember, but he just says that they're doing the little things wrong at the wrong time.
There's another fly ball to right. Moving over Contreras in fair territory, make the catch. Hosofsky will bluff. And there's 2 down for the top of the order, Carliner.
Yeah, Contreras has an outstanding arm in right field. He has himself 7 outfield assists. That's another arm you can run on too often. But yeah, so that's what happened. We saw that with the Gauchos when they were going through their funk where they were losing. They lost 3 straight series. They just weren't doing all the little things they needed to do, and they were having those go against them. And that's how it works in baseball. You need to. That's why I say everything is important like that right
Hosofsky here is going to be hung out to dry. It was a ball in the dirt and a great pick by Lombardi as he throws behind first.
Tip your cap to Lombardi, live by the sword, die by the sword. If you're going to get great jumps, you're also going to get picked by a great move by the catcher. And that's 2 great plays by Lombardi. That one paid off for the Titans.
Run scoring single for Hosofsky at 6-1. But Nick here thought he had ball in the dirt. Lombardi, the heads-up baseball play, throws behind him, and that ends the inning. 6-1, Gauchos going to the 7th. 7th inning, 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for UC Santa Barbara. 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors for Cal State Fullerton. Kevin Cannon, Bob Bronsma. Josh Janicelli is on to pitch, the freshman from Santa Rosa.
Yeah, making his 10th appearance, 2-1 on the year, 4.03 ERA. 22 1/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 11 runs, 10 of them earned, 12 walks, 33 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting 188 against the big freshman right-hander.
Coming off an outing on Monday where he went 3 2/3, allowed 2 hits and 2 runs. He walked 1 and struck out 5. He had the Lancers 2 up, 2 down in the 8th inning before giving up the homer to Dykstra. And Josh was dealing with some cramping in his right hand, which affected him in that at-bat. He wound up walking Ross, the next batter, and then was relieved of his duties. But I think if he hadn't had the cramp in his hand, he probably would have secured a 0 in that 8th inning. But he has been great in his last 3 outings. He had 7 strikeouts in that extra inning game against UC San Diego, hitting in a third scoreless against Irvine last weekend. It was brilliant until he had the hand cramp.
Yeah, so kudos, though, to Coach Checketts for bringing him along at the pace he has. He is another in the line of what I think are going to be great Gaucho arms. You know, another Friday night guy in the making. And he has just slowly but surely gotten the innings and gotten more and more confidence.
And that pitch has been an absolute weapon.
Yep. For a freshman to have the feel for that type of pitch, it just backs up what I'm saying, that he's got a great future, if not with the Gauchos, beyond.
0-2. Swing and a miss by Miller. He got a couple of changeups there, and Geneselli picks up where he left off, picking up a strikeout to start his outing.
It's a big league change, right? So we already know that he's got 94, 96 in his arm, but that changeup, the arm speed is just great. The deception is there, the movement is there. It's a plus pitch.
I've been calling it the Bugs Bunny changeup.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that one, I think, before. I mean that's not the Corey Nunez, but the Bugs Bunny change is still pretty good. It's not original, but not bad.
Well, did you come up with it?
No, I watched it. Oh, look out!
Old foul by Contreras. Contreras wears the handpiece on his hand there. No gloves.
A la Mark Grace.
Kind of a probably a shock absorber there for his left thumb. No BGs. 0-for-2 on the day. Fastball misses in. So yeah, Josh, he was up to 95 on Monday. So he's got the fastball in the low to mid 90s, and the breaking stuff has been elite. Curveball, changeup. First guy out of the pen here on this Friday. Change outside corner, 2-2.
Well, it's just the progression that he's pitching on a Friday night.
Well, and Prosky is coming back, and he's been starting on Tuesdays / Mondays.
Right, so that makes his role that much more valuable in this situation. Another changeup.
We saw Tribe come back a month and a half ago, and that really bolstered the bullpen. And then Prosky returned to the mound against SC and has been working his way up through 4 against CBU on Monday. We'll probably see him on Tuesday against UCLA as Contreras swings and misses at the change. A couple of strikeouts for Geneselli. And there's 2 away.
Now, things are falling into place for the Gauchos. If you're watching.
That's cool angle, super zoomed in.
Yep, and you see the movement on it as well. So the only thing the Gauchos really need to do is they need to bring that mentality and effort every day, which they're doing more frequently. Yes, that was a good angle.
Irvine, top of the second, leading the Tritons 5-0. Probably against Murdoch.
Steele Murdoch, who we saw strike out 18 Gauchos.
17.
Well, it was one that didn't count. You didn't see that one, but they should have called it, but they didn't. Either way, pretty darn good game.
Either way, it was pretty good. 1-1 the count to Cameron Kim. 2 outs, nobody on. Lifts a fly ball to right field. It's going to carry out there for Carliner. And he makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the 7th for Josh Geneselli. Couple of strikeouts, and that's a shutdown frame. 7th inning stretch time. Gauchos by 5. The 7th inning, Kevin Cannon, Bob Bronsema, game 1 of this 3-game set. Titans and Gauchos tomorrow, 3 p.m., Sunday, 1 p.m. here at Cesar Wasaka Stadium. You can watch all those games here at ESPN+. You can also come to the yard. Great opportunity to watch this outstanding pitching staff for both teams. Cal State Fullerton came into today's game with a team ERA at 3.81, which is 13th in the country. And this is something that I've mentioned before. on the radio, but UCSB leading the nation with 3.02, but they've also played UCLA, Hawaii, Cal Baptist, Southern Miss, Cal State Fullerton now, USC, Portland, and Oregon, who are all in the top 30 in team ERA. Here's a towering fly ball down the left field line for the left fielder Miller. And Carliner, who was up there when Osofsky was backpicked, flies out for out number 1 here in the home 7th. He's 0 for 2. This should say how high it went. TrackMan, but it doesn't. But that exit angle was 51 and a half degrees.
Different category, it says too high. That went too high.
There's some youngsters. Good shot there. Nunez takes a strike. I just think that's more evidence the Gauchos' postseason resume is the competition that they have faced. They have the top-ranked non-conference strength of schedule, as well as the top-ranked non-conference RPI. Here's a fly ball right center for Contreras. And Nunez is 0 for 3. And I think that the ERA, the team ERAs back that up.
Yeah.
With all those teams that have good pitching staffs that the Gauchos have faced. And Gaucho offense starting to find an identity. We've kind of touched on it today. But during those weeks in March, if you were to describe this team, you could say, well, I don't really have a feel for who the Gauchos are, their identity.
Yeah, you could say that almost every year, right? You kind of feel out who you are. You've heard me say those first 2 weeks, they mean a lot, but they mean nothing in terms of who you are, who you're going to be, because you're just kind of building it. It's the first rounds of boxing when you're fighting somebody that
I thought everything mattered.
It does. Everything does matter. Everything matters because it all adds up. It's like building a house.
Coach Hunt.
But you can't.
Coaching over at first, that's Matt Fontina at third.
It matters because you're like building, but you can't look back at it and say, oh, you can't dwell on what happened other than like everything else.
Lessons were learned.
You learn the lessons from it, right? You learn the lessons. You don't dwell on the fact that you were 3 and 5. Every day, gain something, lose something every day. You always got to take the stuff that helps you, not the stuff that hurts you.
Vassar hit his first home run as a Gaucho last inning, and he lines one to center, sinking, and it's trapped by Burdick. It'll be a base hit. Javier Navarro all over that one.
95 miles an hour off the bat.
So William Vassar picks up his second hit of the game. Let's take another look at this sinking in front of Burdick.
They had him played.
Yeah, you can see it on the ground
right
there.
Area. And a good play by Burdick to trap that, not let that get by him, because Vassar might have had himself another home run.
6th hit of the game for Santa Barbara. Vassar now 2 for 3. And here's Vargas. Outside corner strike, 87. There from Dawkin. Second inning of work. Got the final 2 outs of the 6th. A 1. High and deep, right center field. Contreras drifting. Burdick is there, and it's out of here. A 2-homer game for Vargas. And it's 8-1.
So 2 home runs, 1 oppo, 1 to deep right center, versus left-hander. Once again, a lot of positive signs for the Gauchos.
He drills this, sneaking over the fence.
Yeah, 376. That's like the back of the fence, but those count.
Burdick straight into the fence there, running out of room. 2-out single, 2-out long ball. Vargas 2 for 2, sac fly, solo homer, hit by pitch, 2-run homer 4 runs batted in. And he now leads the Gauchos with 6 homers. Mendez hitless today, 0 for 3. 1-0 inside corner strike. And Santa Barbara has scored in 6 of the 7 innings today. And lead it by 7. Well, against lefties, this is chop foul. Mentioned at the top that Vassar, Bazizo, Barrett, Nunez, strong batting averages against lefties, but Vargas came in today's game hitting just a .133 against left-handers, and he's hit 2 home runs, one off of Negretti and one off of Dockett.
Yeah, because those lousy numbers were from earlier in the season when he was feeling lousy about himself. Now he's feeling sexy and everything looks like a big fat watermelon coming up there, and he's just eating it up. I mean, it's no Corey Nunez type thing, but I don't know what we're going to call the 2 home run thing.
It's just 2 home runs.
Oh, okay. We won't call it.
This is softly hit to short. O'Hara scoops it up and throws high at first. And Mendez will reach. Now, did that carry him off of the back of the dugout or the railing? And it's the railing, so it stays in play. That'll be a throwing error on O'Hara. Did well here, but just sailed it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough throw. I mean, he has a natural kind of a low arm slot throw, and he's going the opposite direction. That's such a tough play.
Left fielder, number 10, Leah.
Probably need to get on top of that throw a little bit better.
First error of the game for either team. Barrett looks at a strike. And so runs scored in 8 of the 9 on Monday and 6 of the 7 here today. That's 14 of the last 16 innings. At the plate, Santa Barbara has scored at least a run. Good pitch to the outside corner. It's 0-2.
You know, a month ago, they were keeping the sharp implements away from the Gauchos. And now,
good pitch there to strike out Barrett.
Pretty rosy for the Gauchos.
2-out rally, single by Vassar. Got a 2-run homer by Nate Vargas, his second of the game. Sneaks it over the right center field fence. And it's 8-1, Santa Barbara going to the 8th. 8-1, UC Santa Barbara leading Cal State Fullerton. Kevin Cannon, Bob Bronsema. Here's our game summary. Jackson Flora, 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Vargas has homered twice. Barrett has homered, as well as Xavier Esker for UCSB. Nick Miller, a pair of hits, along with Kirchner. All 7 hits for the Titans have been singles. The lone run coming on an Eli Lopez RBI single off of Flora in the 6th inning. Started Micaiah Negretti, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 6 runs. All of them earned. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts for Micaiah Negretti. Tough outing for him, allowing the long balls. Came into the day with just 10 earned runs on the season, and he surrenders 6 to the Gaucho offense as Janicilli goes back to work to face Kirchner, Lombardi, and Lopez, the Titans. Joshua 1-2-3 7th. There's the changeup, and that one pretty close. Two balls, no strikes. Foul tip.
This is Kirchner's 7th time this year, having multiple hits in a game. He's looking for his his 3rd 3-hit game.
2-1 sails very high and outside. Tomorrow, Nathan Aceves against Bobby Mahoney. 3:05 first pitch. And Vargas is going to go to the mound here.
Yeah, this is get the pen up just a little bit, possibly. Looking forward to seeing Mahoney. He was kind of a big recruit.
Sunday's starters are TBD.
Yep.
Officially. Gauchos have used the same 3 starters all year. And it will be Aceves tomorrow. Nathan needs a good outing. He's been, been his own worst enemy of late.
Yeah, I think Prosky goes Tuesday.
As Kirchner works the walk.
Goes Tuesday against the Bruins, and he's probably up to at least 5 innings, maybe, on pitch count, right? That would get him to 5 or 6 innings, which would then put him as a guy that
could pitch on the weekend.
So which is where he was slated to be all year, right? He was slated to be the Saturday guy. Aceves has come in there and done a great job for the Gauchos all year. And we will see the move to the pen.
Giannicelli, after walking the leadoff man here in the 8th, will be lifted for Raymond Olivas. Coming in, we could talk more about starting pitcher situation when we return. Gauchos leading by 7. Pitching change, top of the 8th.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Gauchos, number 28, Raymond Oliva.
Those guys need to pay attention. That's what I should say. If I'm putting my coaching hat on. The 3 outfielders.
There's Carlo McGuire there. Does some graphics for fall production. Now he's got himself a camera, and he loves Kevin. That's what that means.
Really? That looked like a heart.
Yeah, that's love.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, love.
Shout out Carlo.
You need to get out more often. Getting up with the emojis. The hand emojis.
Giannicelli, after walking the leadoff man, gives way to Raymond Olivas.
Raymond making his 21st appearance, 2.63 ERA, 1-1 with 2 saves, 24 innings pitched, 24 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 19 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponents hitting 273 against Raymond Olivas.
It's been like everyday Ray. I'm seeing a lot of Olivas this year. First pitch misses in to Nico Lombardi, who's 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. There's a good fastball at the knees, outside corner. 1-1. We were talking about Aceves and speculating about Prosky potentially. But last week against Irvine, 3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. And the week before, just 3 innings against UC San Diego. It was an interesting start because he had no hits, no runs, but had a couple of walks and a hit batter. Wasn't necessarily throwing a ton of strikes.
No, but he was getting outs. I mean, if Flora gets away with that, Aceves didn't get away with it, and they pulled him, and Gauchos gave up some runs after that. So
this is it foul. And it's still 1-2 here to Lombardi. But with the way Prosky's been pitching, and with the Big West tournament looming, potential postseason looming, obviously Prosky's going to play a role if Gauchos make it to the postseason. But you think about, I think as a pitching coach, this is hit sharply to second, caught by Vassar. Back to first goes Kirchner.
Good base running. He read that right away.
And I know a lot of people here amongst the Gaucho staff like Aceves in a late inning role with the stuff that he has, and how in a short inning stint he could really ramp things up with the velo.
Yeah, the only thing you're doing is you do need to massage the ego on that type of thing, or is he, the total team player? Hey, I'm on board. I'm getting different role. That's great. I'm fired up. Or does he pout? Does he moan? Whatever. Those are the things that you hope you never have to deal with. But
right. Well, and as
be at least aware of it.
As a draft eligible sophomore, as well, Aceves. Don't know if that goes into consideration, but
no, nothing in the draft is considered per se. When you're making a decision that's best for the team, who knows if it's best? It's all speculative. Some scout might say, "Boy, he had a tough thing and he handled it well." You don't know that type of stuff. You do what's best for the team.
Pulled sharply to third. It's through. Esker hustling to retrieve it is Barrett. Kirchner will stop at second base. Another hard hit ball by Lopez. This time over to third. X had it on the backhand and trickled through the glove. That will go down as an E5. 2-1 and 1 out for Fullerton here. Trailing by 7. It was the 8th inning that was tough on the Gauchos on Monday against a high caliber offense in CBU.
Right, so this is the one part of the game when if you're not using Triba, right? Right now they're using Triba as a half a game guy, a 6 out, 9 outs, 12 outs guy. You need to fill in that vacancy in this 8th and 9th inning. And
there's a fly ball center field. Back there is Kelly. He's going to make the catch. Kirchner's going to tag. Throw will come into second base.
Aceves or Prosky could be a guy that can do that.
Well,
but they have options.
And let's be frank, Gauchos haven't had too many 7-run leads in the 8th inning this year, where you have this big lead.
No, they haven't scored enough runs to really, throughout up to this point where they can coast. But they've had a couple games here lately where they've been able to, play farmer a little bit and milk the arms just a little bit more for another out or two than you would feel comfortable doing in a closer game. And that certainly helps. So that's why I said you're seeing some pitchers get a little bit more rope, and for the most part, they've done a good job with it.
1-0, O'Hara pops it foul. Kate O'Hara's 0 for 3. Farmer. You dropped the Farmer right there.
I did.
Wow.
I think they milk cows, farmers do,
Yes,
besides
they do.
some other things. And coaches will milk their arms for a couple extra outs if it benefits it.
1-1 off the end of the bat, and it's 1-2. Sitting Story with a walk to Kirchner by Janicelli. Olivas came in. Lombardi lined out. Lopez reached on the air. Ortega flew out. 1-2 to O'Hara. And it's high with the runner going. Throw is down to second. Nice pick there by Vassar.
That was, because that's likely a run. Nunez was closing to back up, but I'm not sure that goes off his glove or whatever. That boy would be able to stop that.
Good jump here by Lopez. Just a straight steal. Two. Little looper behind second. Vassar going out, and it's going to land for a base hit. Couple runs are going to score, and it's 8-3. Those runs will be unearned.
Yep. Good for the stats, bad for the mentality.
Yeah, I thought Vassar was going to have a shot at this.
He might, yeah, he had the best shot, but he also had Carliner coming down, and he could probably hear some footsteps because you can kind of see, that right there. Unlikely to get it, but if he's the only guy in the field, maybe he lays out or maybe he makes a great play on that, and then he's going to Corey Nunez, apparently.
So 2-run single, O'Hara. Lead is cut to 5. 8th inning, the last 2 games. And even the 9th against Irvine on Sunday. Here's a bunt. It does hit Burdick, but it was in the box.
Yeah, Burdick made that call. Said I was in the box, and he was. Take a look at it here. His back foot was still in there, and that his whole body has to be out for that to be considered.
Well, 9th inning against Irvine on Sunday, Anteater scored twice to cut the lead to 4, and they had the tying run at the plate. As this is lifted down the right field line. Carliner, will he have room? No, it's out of play.
Well,
over the line.
Once again, if you're looking for the area of least comfort, we're looking at it right now. The 8th and 9th when
you have a big lead.
Just the 8th and 9th inning period, and you don't have
the guy in. The guy.
Yeah, you know what's his name?
Cole Triba.
That's right. Okay, you've passed that test. Nice job.
Thanks.
And they've used a lot of arms, right?
Strike 3 called here, top of the zone. Freezes Burdick, and that ends the top of the 8th inning. Fullerton, a couple of unearned runs to cut the lead back to 5. It's 8-3 going to the home 8th. The 8th inning in an 8-3 ball game. New pitcher out there for Cal State Fullerton, Dylan Nieto, takes over here for Brady Dockin, who went 2 2/3, or 1 2/3.
That's a baseball name, Nieto. This is his 16th appearance, 5.54 ERA, 0-1 on the year. 13 innings pitched, 12 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks, and opponents are hitting .245 against Nieto. Dylan Nieto. I believe that is Tony's son, Tony Nieto.
He'll face the bottom third of the order here for Santa Barbara. So Dockin, inning in 2/3. 3 hits and 2 runs. Picked up a strikeout as well. Rowan has flown to center twice. He's been hit by a pitch, stolen a base, and scored a run. Nieto 93 on the fastball, misses low. On the Big West scoreboard, Irvine leading UC San Diego 5-1, bottom 3. Cal Poly and CSUN. A lot of runs there early. Kelly hard on the ground to first. Nice play by Kirchner, spins around, flips it to Nieto, out number 1. Cal Poly leading 4-3. Bottom 3. Take another look. This play to the forehand side for Kirchner. Davis leading Long Beach State 1-0. Bottom 4. Oregon State up 6-3 on Hawaii. Bottom of the 4th. Riverside defeated Cal State Bakersfield 11-5 earlier, and Mitch Namey He's going to pinch hit for Hosovsky here.
He'll go out in the outfield, and Carliner will likely come in and play first base, I would think.
Namey, big swing and a miss on the first pitch. And it's 0-1. Namey 3 for 10 this year with a double and an RBI. Hitting for Hosovsky, who was 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Backdoor missed, 1-1.
I think it's good getting Mitch some at bats. You know, he's a guy. You know, you're in a regional, and it's one of those Monday games, and it's 14-13, and he can come in there off the bench and maybe leave the yard for you when you have a big game. He's a good bat. Has got a ton of opportunities. He's had 10 at bats. Comes in with a pretty good resume from New Mexico State.
1-2. Yeah, that's low. Two balls, two strikes. Infield straight up here. And that's low again, 3-2.
Got to get this in. Mitch was a high school student of the year in science, math, and English. That's like the Corey Nunez of academics.
Could be. See what you did there. 3-2, lifted in the air. Deep left, Miller to the track, and he's got it for out number 2. That's a good pass there for Namey going the other way.
Good swing.
Some good swings to the opposite field today for UC Santa Barbara. 2 outs for X. 1 for 3 with the 2-run homer. Takes front door breaking ball for a strike. The 9th, Titans will have the top of the order against probably Olivas. 0-1. Popped out of play. First 3-homer game since April the 8th of last season. Younces have hit 4 today. 2 for Vargas. First of the year for Vassar. 0-2, Esker, center field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. A 2-hit game for Xavier Esker. Joins Vassar and Vargas. Couches with multiple hits today. Carliner will bat with 2 down and a runner at first. 0 for 2 on the day. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch. Breaking ball there. 0-1. Nieto from the stretch. This is in the dirt. Esker takes off. Here's the throw to second, not in time. Another good dirt ball read.
Gaucho's putting a clinic on. 2 for 3 if you're keeping score at home. And that's a good percentage on balls like that, especially when you have a lead, right? You want to go for some dagger runs and put some people away. when you have the lead. More aggressive on those types of things when you have a lead.
1-1 is pulled foul.
And the more you school things like that, it's a silly and maybe a stupid thing and maybe wrong, I don't know. But in the other dugout, it grates on you a little bit. Especially if if you're in a bitter mood, you say, why aren't we doing that? I mean, we teach that, we do the same thing, we do all these things. Why aren't we doing that? That's it's just something that can get under the skin of the opposing team. And I coached against Fullerton for 28 years, and
I feel like whenever you did something good, they would do something good back in your face.
They were kings of that. They were kings of the extra.
Strike 3 called here. Nieto posts a 0 in the bottom of the 8th. Strands Esker at second base as he gets Carliner on the good fastball. We'll go to the 9th. UCSB 8, Cal State Fullerton 3 here on ESPN+.
Hey fans, keep up with UCSB Athletics by using the mobile app to schedule winning scores, watchers.
We go to the 9th inning. Stork Tower in the distance, sun setting here at Cesar Wasaka Stadium. Lights on, but not taking effect yet. Approaching 7:30 local time. Max Stagg enters the game defensively in right, and Carliner moves to first. And the Titans here against Raymond Olivas will have the top of the order: Miller, Contreras, and Kim. Against Olivas, Titans trailing by 5. Olivas looking to finish the job here, secure the Gauchos' 3rd win in a row. First pitch to Miller, in there, a strike. Nick Miller, top of the order, 2 for 4 today, couple of base hits. Struck out looking in the 7th. And he hits this in the air, right center field. Kelly will call off Stagg to make the catch. Out number 1.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that Stagg hears that. He's a big fella and aggressive. You don't want to run into that body.
Now batting, number 25, Paul Contreras.
There's Contreras. First pitch slider for a strike. Contreras hit by a pitch in the 1st. Popped out in the 3rd. Flew out in the 5th. Struck out swinging in the 7th. Like change up and a miss high. Here comes the 1-1. Down the right field line, out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Contreras. Little pop-up behind first. Carliner in foul ground makes the catch.
Showing some of his outfield skills there. Good drop step. Key play on that, right? Doing the proper drop step so you get on the right line. Made it look easy.
And they're off the end of the bat from Contreras. Good work by Jerry Fall there. Can work down the right field line. So last chance for the Titans. It's Cameron Kim. 1 for 4 with a single, and he takes high for ball 1. Tomorrow's game, 3 o'clock. Aceves against Mahoney. A couple of right-handers. Outside corner strike. And it's 1. Flora for 6. Struck out 8. Janicelli for 1. couple of strikeouts and an unearned run. Now Olivas gets Kim to chase, and it's 1-2. Titans down to their final strike here.
Fans are going crazy.
Gauchos on the verge of winning game 1. Pop foul. All right, this is when folks should be off their phone. They should be standing, cheering, hands out of pockets for this 1-2 pitch from Olivas. Strike 3 called outside corner, and that's the ball game. Gauchos win game 1 here at home against Cal State Fullerton. 8-3 the final. 8 runs, 8 hits and an error for the Gauchos. 3 runs, 8 hits and an error for the Titans. Not exactly the pitcher's duel that we thought we were going to get. Gauchos all over Micaiah Negretti. They homered 3 times against him. He allowed 6 runs in 5 1/3. Flora pitched out of some trouble on a few occasions and was tagged for just 1 run. Jackson gets the win. He goes to 8-0 on the year. Negretti, the loss, falls to 7-3.
Yeah, maybe not the 1-0 duel that we thought, but saw some good baseball from both sides. And the Gauchos doing more to win the game today. We talked about that being key on the offensive side. Gauchos took advantage of some wildness, some hit-by pitches, and then threw the long ball in, which was a nice welcome treat here for the Gaucho pitching staff.
Yeah, 4 home runs on the day for UC Santa Barbara, 2 for Nate Vargas. He now leads the team with 6. Gauchos scored in 6 of the 8 innings that they came to bat here today, and with the win, they improved to 27-12 on the season, 13-6 in Big West Conference play. Irvine has opened up an 8-1 lead on UC San Diego in the bottom of the 4th, and Cal Poly is tied currently with CSUN. Cal Poly and UC San Diego were tied atop the conference with the Gauchos heading into play today. Tomorrow's game, 3 o'clock. Aceves against Mahoney. Should be a good one. That'll do it for us here at Caesar Wasaka Stadium, where UCSB defeats Cal State Fullerton 8-3. For our director and producer, Danny Spantman, our engineer, Eddie Spantman, Bob Bronsema, my partner, Jerry Fall, Kelly Barsky, athletic director, Tom Hastings, Andrew Checketts, and the rest of the Gauchos. My name's Kevin Cannon, signing off from Caesar Wasaka Stadium. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and are archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Gauchos take game 1. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon. Good night.